Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today is February 27th, and I'm reading out of 365 Days to Embracing Forbidden Emotions. We've been doing the month of February here, and this is about self-love. Love yourself first, and everything else falls into line. You really have to love yourself to get anything done in this world. Lucille Ball. Learning to love myself is another journey I want to undertake in this life. But in a world that would have me think less of myself unless I fit into a certain mold, that can be challenging. But I'm not alone on this journey. I can tune into God, the universe, the Great Spirit, the divine, the dinosaurs, Fred Flintstone, the wiser self, whatever works for me. As I learn to reconnect with this spiritual part of me, guidance and direction can come in ways that help me love myself a little more every day. I'm meant to love myself and think well of myself. I'm going to read that line again. I am meant to love myself and think well of myself. I may have been programmed to think otherwise, but these thought patterns can be changed the more I attend to and interrupt them. This is where tapping can help me as I tune in to the less than loving programming I learned and release it from my energy system. I find that I need not try to love myself. Self-love bubbles up from within me the way it's always intended to be. Thought for the day. Today I will practice finding things about myself that are lovable. If I can't, I can tap. I clear the way for self-love to come through for me. Self-love, I see that it's sort of a pithy thing that's put out there, about loving ourselves. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Joan. Hey, Kitty. That's who I can tell is here. And I feel there's so many, if it's spiritual teachings in the personal development world, I really am finding there's a lot, I think, that gets lost in translation or missed. Because this whole idea about we really got to love ourselves, well, good luck. If you were raised out of the gate to think less of yourself, in my upbringing, I was trained to believe that I was born with original sin scored on my heart, like an infant comes in and has to be baptized to make sure that you're okay. An infant that's completely innocent and so fresh from spirit or whatever. Hey, Dawn. Oh my God, awesome to see you here live too. And I think about the programming that I had that really taught me to think less of myself, right? Right, Michelle? Original sin. I think about the stuff that I was trained in my upbringing now, and I'm like, my God, that was ludicrous. The stuff that I was taught, and I was literally taught to think less of myself. I had a client from Israel that was Jewish, and I freaking loved her. She goes, man, I thought us Jews had cornered the market on guilt, but you Catholics, my God. And I just died laughing. And I think, and not to bash Catholicism, I just grew up in a particular environment around it where it was hellfire and brimstone and taught to think less of myself. And it's really been a detoxification process over the years to unlearn that, to realize that I was born with value, worthiness, beauty, deserving of every good thing. It continues to be a journey. And yet I think even in spiritual tenets, it's like, let go, let God. Okay, great. How? How do I let go when I'm clinging on to something with every fiber of my being? The how is not often put out there. There's tons of pithy quotes that are put out there that say stuff to us, but it's like, how? How do I do that? Hey, Lynn, how do I do that? Yeah, right, Michelle is very scared of original sin. I was terrified of God. I was trying to figure out this whole idea of narcissism and how at various times I've dealt with narcissism in my life. I was like, wow, that different people. And it came to me, the God of my understanding that I was raised to believe in was an extreme narcissist. I'm not kidding. 1 minute you're loved with this endearing love, but as soon as you say shit or something like that, this is the way I was trained to believe, you're going to burn in hell. And it took me the longest time to unhook from that and to realize one day it dawned on me, I'm like, well, I guess if I end up in hell, most of my friends are going to be there, so I'm probably going to have company. Like, that's how entrenched the beliefs were with me. And I've said this before, and I really believe if you are in a religion of any kind that is exclusionary, that excludes anyone, I don't care what if it excludes gay people, if it excludes transgender, if it excludes any other nationality other than, it's the wrong, to me it's like, oh, find another religion. Because why would the God that created everything here be excluding, created everything, exclude? And it's really something to me to wake up to for many of us. And I just think for myself, some people are like, I wasn't raised that way at all. That's no big deal for me. Oh my God, it was entrenched. So that's why I think the self-love thing, it's learned, especially when we're programmed over time to think less of ourselves. My religion is love, right? Lynn, I tell you, that is how I felt about my sister who passed away, Mary, who is special needs, mentally handicapped, mentally retarded is what she was called when we were growing up. And she was not born that way. It's a story about how that all happened. But she was such a blessing. And to be raised with a sister like that, who she knew people were different colors, like crayons in a crayon box. She knew there was men and women. She knew those things. But she constantly... She preached the religion of love. She constantly was like, you're so handsome. You're so beautiful. We were at Trader Joe's one time and she told the guy, the cashier, you're so handsome. And he goes, you're a liar. Because he would not have considered himself that way. And I go, oh my God, she never lies. And she goes, I don't lie. She didn't care. She saw the beauty in everyone. And one time when I was living in Taos, New Mexico, I got a wake-up call myself. There was a yoga teacher up there, and she was a wonderful human being. I never knew her personally, but she had put plastic flowers and glued them all over her car. It was unbelievable. Her entire car was, and if Lenny, you hear this, you're probably going to remember who she is. It's plastic all over her car, and I was raised, I was like, oh, that's so tacky, you know. And my daughter, when she was really little, we were driving around and she goes, oh my God, Mommy, look at her car. Look at the beauty she put on her car. And that woke my ass up. I was like, oh my God, like I was so judgmental about that. And my daughter with these child eyes sees the beauty in something. This must have taken this gal forever to put these plastic flowers all over her car. And I'm like, that's tacky. And my daughter's like, God, Mom, isn't that beautiful? So it's things like that I think as we start to wake up from, it's like, oh my God. I mean, it's like waking up from a nightmare. So anyway, Joan, I'm so happy to see you here, my high school pal, and Lynn, Cindy, hello, Cindy, Michelle, that's who I can tell is here, Dawn, and Kitty. Well, that's it for today. See you back here tomorrow for February 28th, and have a great rest of your day, evening, morning, wherever you are on this fine planet that we all call home together. Bye for now.